Well, first you need to download the export to KML. This will be pasted into the email. I download it. The installation instructions are in the download. You'll get a file somewhat like this, a zipped file. Copy this into a folder on your C drive. I put all my extensions in ArcGIS and extensions, and then you can paste it in here. I've already got one in here. You'll see the install right there. Please read the installation instructions in the PDF first before you double click on that. Once you install it, you'll end up with a new menu here. You have to open, if you already have ArcGIS open, you have to close it and open it again. You'll end up with this menu, export to KML, add that in, you'll get something like this. And then after that's installed, you can do a selection. We're going to use parcels as the example here. You could also do soils, farm plan fields, rivers, streams, all that. You may have to break them down, as Jay had to do. They have 600,000 parcels. We only have 120. What we did for ours was we did the entire township, which was just a horizontal strip all the way through, and that was actually small enough to bring into the GIS Pro. What we're going to do for an example, because it takes a little longer when you got more, is I just did a township and range. And to do that for our parcel layer, I just did a select by attributes on the parcel layer right here, and then I chose, for ours it's township range section, and I did township range section like 3903 percentage. The percentage is a wild card because our township range section looks actually like this, so it has the section at the end. What I want is the entire township range and all the sections in there, so I'm leaving off the 2 digits that denote the section for us, which in this case is just a wild card, so all the sections in that township and range will show up. And I ran it. This is what it looks like. The wild cards may be different for you. If it's a personal geodatabase, this will be a star instead of a percentage, because a personal geodatabase is actually built off of a Microsoft Access database. But if it's file geodatabase, a percentage will work. So once I've got everything that's selected that I want to export to a KML file, you hit the KML export to KML, and you wait. And here we select which one we want to export, so parcels, and this is where I select what I want to label it on. This will show up for labeling and that kind of stuff, and this, just choose the one that you want to label it. Make sure that you choose where you want to put it. In this case, I want to put it into my Dropbox. My desktop into my Dropbox, and I have a folder called base layers. If you create one folder for all your conservation district, you can share that folder out in Dropbox. And this is 39, I think 03. Township. I'm just going to township range. Just give it a name so you can figure out what it is. It saves, so now I have that in there. But we need to go into options, and here we want to create a Google Maps compatible layer, because without that it may not come in correctly in your GIS Pro. It may, but it's just safer to do it. Yes, it will be slower, but we need that. Under labelings and descriptions, make sure export only selected features is chosen. Under labeling and descriptions, apply feature colors to labels, and you can choose all that you want, but down here is where it'll get a little complicated. What we want to do, this is what will show up in the pop-up description when you click on something in GIS Pro or Google Earth. So what we want to do is double click on the WCAG code is our parcel code. So I've added that to this feature description down here, and I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to add the acres and then click down there again. I'm going to have to put in acres there so we know what that number is. You can, if you want, use all layers or add all attributes and then play with it as much as you want. What I'm doing is just putting in a couple of things just for the test run. And here is our taxpayer name, and you can add more in. That'll be the address line for us, and add another address line. Make sure you have enters or it'll put it on the same line. So that was just for an example. I'm going to hit OK. You can go through and do other options in there if you want to play with it, but this is all we need for the parcels, and we hit OK. And down here in the lower right you will actually see the percentage of when it's done. Now this is why you need Google Earth installed before you do this. Would you like to open TRS in Google Earth? Yes. This is more of a data check than anything else. You want to be able to make sure you exported it correctly, and it comes over pretty well. And it zooms in. And I hate this oblique stuff, so I'm going to turn off that by hitting R. And you'll notice all these labels trying to come out. Well, you can turn them off over here on the left, and we're actually going to get rid of the labels because the labels are not used in GIS Pro. So I'm going to right click on the feature labels over here and delete. This gets rid of it so it doesn't have to bring in two sets of features. You'll end up bringing in the polygons and the points for the labels. If you have 5,000 polygons, you'll end up with 5,000 points as well, and it just takes a long time. So I'm deleting it because I don't need it, and then I'm going to resave this. I right-clicked on it, save place as, and then I'm going to resave it to my Dropbox, base layers, and you can put it in a KMZ if you want. I'm just doing a KML. A KMZ is just a zipped KML. For this, I'm just doing a KML, and I'm going to call it the same, and I'm going to hit save. Yes, I want to replace it. And now I have a KML I can export, or I can import into an iPad, on the iPad, a GIS Pro. To open the parcel layer that we just did into ArcGIS, or sorry, GIS Pro, click on the file that we just exported, and then after it downloads, up in the right hand corner, click the open in, and then you can open in GIS, and then it will start importing. And you'll notice I'm in a map right now. You must be in a map. For some reason it doesn't do it when you're looking at the index of all the maps that you have. So you have to be in a map. But then it'll actually ask you where you want to put it, which map you want to put it. Kind of a glitch there, but which map we want to put it in my base layers map. And up here, up on the top, you'll notice the master project layer. I want to put it in that. You can put it in under other ones if you'd like, because I've got each each particular KML that I've exported in its own little layer. So master project layer, it put it down here. You'll notice right here, it put it down there. You'll notice also it didn't show up. For some reason, let me turn off my farm plans fields. I don't even know where this is at, so we'll fit it to screen. It may be that it won't show up right away, so you'll have to turn it off and then turn it on. For some reason it doesn't show up sometimes when you first bring it in. And then you can zoom in as much as you want. And then I clicked on this particular parcel and I'll get the parcel number, the acres, the name, and the address. And you can add as much as you want. And then if you click on another one, you'll get the same thing. That's all you have to do. You'll have to. What I did here is I created a base maps. So what that does is hold all of my maps or my layers in one particular map. This is going to be a big map. I'll never export to KML because there's a lot of features in here. But what I can do is go into my parcel layer, and right here you can do an export. And I can export it to, up here you'll see projects. I can export it to a new project, testing, training, Larry Stapp, whatever. And this way you can get it to other projects that you want. Now, be warned, if you put it into another project and you try to export that project to a KML, it may not export to a KML, or you may not be able to get it. So once you export it and open it and play with it, make sure you turn it off before you export to a KML to give to your cooperator or send to someone, because you don't want to send this amount of features to someone else. So they may not be able to open it. So just turn off, which when I say turn off, just click this little spot and turn off, and then export from your project. Don't try to export that stuff in one KML. Hopefully I explained that okay. Just turn them off and then export to a KML. So you can do soils, you can do rivers and streams, you can do all of them. Some of you may see, if you didn't turn off the feature labels in Google Earth, you may see multiple features here, and one of them will be a feature labels. You can easily get rid of them if you want, or turn them off, but you'll notice a bunch of labels come up if you don't want to label all the parcels in the county kind of thing. But it also saves time importing it, and it said that importing all, it would import, right now we've got 3,491 in here. It would import 6,900 and something if I didn't take those features out. If you have any questions, give me a call.